One of the big issues that we've got about handwriting is there's very little teaching for teacher training. So if you're doing your PGC or you're doing your degree for teaching, I would say there's very little seminars that are held and teaching about how to teach handwriting. It's one of those areas which is profound, but there's no one actually delivering anything on it, because I don't think there's a lot of research and knowledge as well in there. And it's one of those areas where people say, right, children need to be able to write correctly and neatly, but no one's telling and teaching teachers to do so. So we've got a lot of young teachers who are coming to this profession who want their children to write neatly and have fantastic presentation, but they just don't have the skills. Handwriting, the expectations have actually increased dramatically, especially this year. However, the focus in the curriculum is minute. And that's the issue that we as teachers have, because we don't have enough time to cover it in the everyday lessons, but when we're assessing the children, and it's a huge stepping stone. Our children can, for example, in year 2 and in year 6, they need to be able to join. In Key Stage 1, we do spend a lot of time on handwriting, but that time is then decreased when they go into the juniors, although now the government have now said by the end of year 6, they all need to be able to join. That is a great issue that most schools are facing in England this year. One of the issues that we have with handwriting from an early stage is the children, how they're holding the pencil, their positioning, their stamina, and it's the key thing, I would say, is their gross motor skills and the fact that they haven't had enough time to work on their gross motor skills. Startbeat is the first company that I've come across is actually dedicated to handwriting. And actually, Startbeat is the only company that has actually analysed handwriting to a T. And all the skills, every single thing, I haven't come across anything anywhere else. We are using Startbeat because we think it's the right tool for us to promote handwriting and presentation. We are trying to achieve an outstanding status for Ofsted, and with the new framework for 2015, the focus for Ofsted is going to be books, and they're going to be looking at presentation, and that is our focal point of our school. So Startbeat is going to be a tool that we're using to increase and improve our presentation. And we know that if the presentation in the books are good, if they like the marking, the children's work, we know that we're halfway there. If we've got an issue with presentation, that's going to be an issue with our Ofsted altogether. So it's one of our areas that we are focusing on for this year. The Startbeat kit is amazing. It's one of those kits you can just pick up and you can deliver a session effectively because everything's in there, it's all organised, everything that you need for any teacher or teaching assistant to deliver an effective lesson. It's effective, the fact that when you've got a small group, sometimes you don't have the time to get everything out. So it's all in the kit. It's a mobile kit. It's plug and play. To make it even better, all the lesson plans are actually already created and they all go with the Startbeat kit. So everything actually flows very well with the resources and the lesson plan. So anybody can deliver the lesson from a supply teacher to the class teacher to a teaching assistant. The Startbeat programme is more beneficial to any school and it has more of an impact because it's a plug-and-play training programme. So you're not actually taken away from your class or your school. You're training with your children in your classroom. So it's very cost-effective and it'll have more of an impact because you're not losing your teaching time with your pupils, but you're actually training with your pupils. Most of the training that you have for any teacher training is you train, you come back to school and you deliver it, and you don't have any means to communicate with anyone about any issues. But the fact that we've got the live Q&A gives us a medium in the fact that we can issue any issues that we're encountering with our pupils, and also we can take advice from other people and see what they're doing. So it's a training program that's developing. We're not saying this is the finished product and it's brilliant. What we're saying is you develop it with your class, and the Q&A is the best way to do so. So what we want to actually include is the right type of pencil, the size, the positioning. What we're really excited about, that we've got a great opportunity from BIC, who have actually been able to give us the resources to use, and I'm confident just by using the right resources, our children are going to have a vast improvement in their handwriting. I'm really excited about being the Startbeat ambassador for handwriting because I think it's an area across the country that needs to be dealt with, and we need more conversations across the country. It needs to be an area that is talked about in education. It's like phonics many years ago, where everybody's teaching phonics. We need to be now teaching the grassroots of handwriting, and that needs to be across the whole country. The more and more conversations I have with teachers, training courses, etc., everyone's talking about handwriting presentation. It's a big thing that's come from Ofsted, but we're having little, let's say, training in school, and there's little provisions. I mean, we are trying, what we would like is a provision in school to help the children increase and actually improve their handwriting skills. This will enable them to have the knowledge and the experience to do it with confidence.